Hello, good evening, everybody. Hello, welcome to Beyond Authentic, and welcome to another Sunday session. Today's going to be a good day. I can feel it in my water. Thank you to all of the members and to the new members who have joined us over on the members only stream just now. We had it was a really good chat. I say chat. Effectively, I'm talking to myself, but there were people chatting along in the comments. So we were chatting. In fact, we were chatting about all sorts today. We were chatting. One of the things we were talking about, I've just had to go and get this. For those of you in the UK, does this look like a piece of stationery from back in day? As soon as I saw this cover, I was like, I know exactly what that is. I know precisely what that is. This is the zine that Neil writes. It's not the Necronomicon. It's actually a separate project that Neil is doing, which is called My Parents' Video Rental Log or Logbook. And as you can see, this is actually a blast from the past. This is a historical document, or the original one of these is a historical document which basically has video rental reviews from a logbook from his parents. Look, those are the copies of the original pages. Reviews of videos that they rented during the 80s and I think up to the early 90s. But it's absolutely phenomenal, and he's covered all of the videos, and they were horror freaks. So if you like your horror films, this has got everything from American Werewolf in London, zombie flesh eaters, Halloween 2. I love your review of Halloween 2. It makes me smile every time, where you basically call Dr. Loomis a nutter. I love it. I love it. So yeah, it's really, really, really good. So totally recommend that. And when Neil comes on, we'll get the link down in the chat for that if you want to get yourself a copy. Also, it is moderator Holland's birthday today. So I want to just take this opportunity to say very, very happy birthday to Holland. Happy birthday, dear Holland. Happy birthday to you. There you go. Singing it off key and off tune, purposely so that we don't get hit by... I don't think that is under copyright. But anyway, happy birthday to Holland. Yes, let's have a look at who is here today. Wolf Boyo. Good evening, Wolf Boyo. Hi, Lisa and everyone. Sorry I haven't been on recently. I've not been mentally well. I hope you're okay, my darling. You are back at uni, though. You're studying the French Revolution. Vive la France. Whilst watching. That's good. I hope you're doing all right, my darling. I really, really do. I know, wasn't there a whole thing about it? And that's why you had the... Happy birthday! Your birthday is for you. Happy birthday! Wasn't that why that became a thing in the States? I think it was. Can't remember. I don't remember. But we're going to do some tarot readings tonight. I know. Isn't that surprising? Wow, NY. Good evening, NY. You've got a super chat in already. Thank you ever so much for that. I will start with your reading in just a few minutes. Before I do, there's a couple of bits I need to play. So I've been in the news.
YouTube tarot reader Lisa Lee has been found using bad language during her twice-weekly live streams. In a shocking turn of events, it has also been discovered that she will not tell you what you want to hear, only what you need to know. The internet is in collective shock that authenticity is alive and well in this corner of the YouTube meta space. Do not watch if you are easily offended.
I know, right? Imagine imagine me using bad language on a stream. Never ever going to happen. Never going to happen. Ever, 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 never going to happen ever. So yeah, not a thing. But we do actually, genuinely now, we do have some housekeeping. Okay, so I do need to hit this.
Before we go on, here's the housekeeping. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. If you're looking for support in these areas, please do seek out professionals in these areas. You do have to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. And remember, please don't share private information here or anywhere else on the internet that you wouldn't want anyone or everyone finding out about now or any time in the future.
Absolutely. That last one's really important. Also, even if you are a bit vague about maybe where you live or what's happening, do still bear in mind that people can still track you down. So even if, for example, and I always say this, even if you say, oh, I've just moved into the house opposite the big red house, right? You just say that. And then in the chat a little bit later, you say, oh, I'm really loving the weather here in Arizona, right? And then a bit later in the chat, somebody says, oh, where's everybody from? And you say, I am from Kansville, Arizona, right? Or I'm from Kansville, made that up, right? But what somebody now knows is that you are from Kansville in Arizona and you live opposite the big red house. All it takes is a local or somebody to know, even getting on Google, where is the big red house? What is it? What is it? Oh, it's a museum. And this person now lives opposite. Just be really, do you know what I mean? Just be really careful about the information you share on the internet, not just here, but anywhere else as well. Do just make sure that you are aware of that. Not that I'm in any way at all suggesting our community here would do anything. We have some of the most wonderful subscribers and channel members of anywhere on the internet. It is a lovely, lovely, lovely community. I'm just pouring myself out a coffee. It is a wonderful community here, and I absolutely love what we're building. And it's slow, and we're still a tiny channel here on the YouTubes, but we are slowly building a really, really amazing community of like-minded people, which is fantastic. But there's also the wider internet at large that can find the channel, can find out where we are. So just watch your privacy. Okay, right then, rant over. Auntie Lisa has now finished ranting for this evening. Probably not, but you know, let's see who is here in their chat. So we've got Crystal Rose. Good evening, Crystal Rose. Good evening to you. Good evening to Wolf Boyo. Good evening to Holland, one of our lovely moderators. Obviously, good evening to NY. Your super chat reading is coming up very, very soon. It'll be the first cab off the rank tonight. Good evening to Cindy. #_#. Good evening to Sundry, and good evening to Elise. I think I've mentioned everybody that's here currently. Good evening to all of you. Right then, let's start as we mean to go on. So we are going to start with a tarot reading, and the ever lovely, what was I going to say? The ever lovely Wispy, our air dragon, is going to help us on that. What am I looking for on my screen? I was looking for something. There we go. This is what I'm looking for. So the first tarot reading, which is going to be for NY, that is coming up in exactly 17 seconds. We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God! Right then, let me just sort this out slightly, bring it slightly lower. There we go. Y'all don't need to see my Dr. Pepper can, do you? Move that out of the way. Oh, gosh. Right then. So hopefully that's level. Oh, it needs to come back further over there. Every single week, it takes a bit of faffing to get this back in position. There we go. There we go. Right then. So as always, NY. Let me just click on this and also click on the banner. One second. There we go. This one. There we go. So then, there we go. All the details are on the screen. So I'm currently doing a reading. Whilst I'm doing the reading, I don't have the live chat up. So NY, if there's anything you want to refer to or anything that you want to message, do please understand that I won't see that until after the reading, okay? But I will, if there's something where the moderators feel like I'm absolutely like off on a major tangent, which isn't anything new for me, or where there's something that I am 100% completely wrong with, one of the mods will drop me a message. Or if you say something like, oh my God, yes, absolutely, it was, and you know, it was my ex-husband, when I'm saying something, right? The mods might just confirm that. But generally speaking, I don't have the chat up because I've got ADHD and I will get distracted. Right then, let's cleanse the space. There we go. And we're bringing Wispy, who is our elemental air dragon, which basically is a servitor type creature, which there is a whole podcast episode all about, which I've just put into the live chat if you want to go and check that out. Today we're using the Fifth Spirit Tarot deck just because it's one of my favorite decks, and if I don't check in with it every few weeks, the deck gets a bit grumpy. So I've got to check in with it every now and then. Right then, let's have a look. So then, Wispy, NY wants to know, what is Pete's next action towards me? What is Pete's next action towards NY? Let's have a look here. Let's see what we've got. And because you've donated $8 or more, you will be getting a longer reading, a 6-card reading today. Gosh, what is going on with my hands? My hands. All the cards. I think it's because the cards are grumpy. I haven't used this deck in over a month. Not even on a live stream, or not even with a private reading. I've been into the rainbow deck. So yeah, I think the deck is a bit pissed at me. But anyway, let's have a look. So what are Pete's next actions towards you? Let's see. We're going to do the inverted V, the inverted triangle, Wispy. So let's go with where you are now. 4 of Wands. Okay, what you need to know. Ace of Wands, not bad. And what the potential outcome is. We've got the Sun. Okay, I might ask for context in a second. 7 of Pentacles linking the 4 and the Ace of Wands. The 8 of Wands linking the Ace to the Sun. Lots of wand cards. And the root is the 6 of Wands. All the wands. All the wands. That's interesting. Right. Okay. So let me, if I move everything up slightly, or do I bring it down slightly? Hang on. Let's try that. And then I can bring these down so you can see all the cards in position. So the 4 of Wands, where you are now. This is the energy that is coming up, if that makes sense. This is the energy around you. So this is everything that's happened and brought you to this point. 4 of Wands. Wands is all about security. Okay. So it's how you see yourself. It is your sense of self, your sense of confidence, self-esteem, all of those things. It's very much a card of defensiveness, right? And it's very, a suit of defensiveness. It's very much about building up your inner self and having the ability to express and having the ability to be you, right? The 4 of Wands, 4s are about stability. So if you can imagine this fireplace has 4 legs, 4 table legs, 4 chair legs. That's what you want for stability, right? And you can see we've got these 4 lanterns, and this is the fire's raging because this is a fire sign. Wands is all about fire, is the fire connection. Okay, so because of that, there is an element here that is talking about there is, I don't know whether boredom or a lack of excitement. It's that sort of stability that comes in between you and Pete. Now, I don't know whether the situation in the past has been difficult, whether or what the relationship is between you. There is nothing here about romance. There is nothing here about even like a giant falling out or anything like that. There is nothing here about that sort of vibe, right? So there is nothing saying that that the two of you are locked in a battle or anything like that. There is nothing here to say that anything is particularly good romantically or particularly bad. It feels like, I don't know whether this is a friend connection that has gone a bit wibbly, but it feels very much based on a friendship. We've got this Four of Wands coming in now, so it's got this sense of stability. The only problem with stability, if this is friendship, right, this is what you want. If this is friendship, because you want your friends to be stable, you want them to be there for you, you want them to be, you know, they're not going to secretly stab you in the back or tell all your secrets to to a WhatsApp group or anything like that. You want your friends to be rock steady. So if this is friendship, this number of wands is perfect, right? Absolutely perfect. If this is somebody you've had a massive falling out with in the past, things aren't going to get a lot better, because the wands is still talking about regaining some security, regaining some confidence, but it's not patching things up. If this is a romantical relationship, there's nothing here saying that there is any passion there. There's nothing here saying that there is any that there is a love connection, because we don't have cups, right? So just bear that in mind. So I would say this is more on the friendly, unless the only I say that, but the only proviso or the only caveat to that is people are asexual. So there are plenty of people out there who don't particularly have strong sexual desire or strong sexual relationships. They are so it could well be that there is this lack of a sexual connection, because there is a lack of cups is that sexual connection, if you know what I mean. But it really does feel as if there's not a lot. When you say what is Pete's next action, I don't think there is a lot of action, put it that way. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this camera, it keeps moving on its own. Where you are, sorry, what you need to know, right? We've got the Ace of Wands. So there's a new start or a new beginning. Excuse me. So either you have started something new, you've started over somehow, or Pete has. So this is either with this card. I don't get the impression that there is. Right, hang on. Let me just listen. I'm trying to hedge my bets, right? I don't think there's a lot of chemistry here. So if this is a relationship, like bonky bonky, I love you too, I don't think there is actually a lot of love and physical connection here, right? The cards are really, really platonic. If this is a friendship, then it's something that has got a chance to grow, but I don't think it's going to grow into a relationship, put it that way, right? So if that's what you're hoping for, the card, there's nothing in the cards relating to that. The question, what is Pete's next action towards me, makes it sound as if you're hoping or wanting some sort of relationship connection here, and it doesn't feel as if there is that connection. So hopefully that makes sense, my darling. But right, Ace of Wands. So the Ace of Wands, as I say, either you or Pete has got a new start. There's a new beginning. again, it's in wands. If it was in cups, it'll be a new relationship. If it was in pentacles or in discs, it would maybe suggest a new job, a new career, new bonus, promotion, things like that. I don't think it's any of those things. I think it feels like it feels like Pete's next actions. It feels like Pete's moved on, got a new friend, something along those lines, if that makes sense. The weird thing is the sun. This is the really weird thing, right? Because the sun is all about growth energy. It's all about happy families, children, all of those things. But I don't think this is necessarily between you and Pete, because all of these cards are friendship cards. So I don't think this is pointing at a happy family for you and Pete, right? Again, I don't know your gender. I don't know Pete's gender. There's nothing here about that for the two of you, whether that's, your own kids adopting. Normally, that's what the sun would represent, this growth energy, and in a relationship, children and all of that. But the sun here is still here. It's still talking. It's still giving growth. So I don't know whether Pete has a separate family, or that he's maybe gone back to or started a new family, or whether Pete is, because again, you're very much asking, what is Pete doing? What's Pete's actions? Or whether Pete is happier doing whatever he's doing with this new beginning. I don't know. I don't feel like the two of you are currently together. So I don't know whether you were together. I don't know whether you were working. I don't think this is work related. But I don't know whether you two spent a lot of time together and now you're not, or whether you two were, married, now you're not. It feels like. So the thing about the Four of Wands, right? Sometimes if this is reversed, it means stagnancy. Sometimes even when it's upright, this stability can be really dull, right? Of all the cards, it's what you want. Sometimes you need that stability, and in other times, you really don't. And I've got no idea which of those two it is, but it does really feel as if it's a bit. Oh, I don't think there's any love there. Put it that way. Right. That's all I'm going to say on that, because I really don't think there is. Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. So Pentacles is career, work, finances, but this is about tough decisions, right? Because this is one of those, I always say, this is a person who's planted these. It says peas. They're actually bloody pumpkins, but whatever. They've planted them, they've grown them, they've nurtured them. And then here comes the moment. Is it harvest time, or do we leave them? Do we harvest the fruits where they are, or do we leave them on the vine, hoping to have good weather, but maybe that bad weather will come and they'll all rot? Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of moment. It's like, do I harvest what I've planted and nurtured, or do I leave it be? When this card comes up, it's talking about being at that crossroads position, right? It's reversed. I think, because it's linking these two cards, I think that Pete's gone back to something previous, if that makes sense. I think that oh, how can I put it? It feels like financially he's had to go back. He's had to return to something, whether that is a previous relationship, whether that is a different city, a different whatever. He's undenied about decisions, and then it's like he's gone back to something and restarted something. So that's what I'm getting with this. In terms of how these two are linked, we've got the Eight of Wands. Again, Eight of Wands is all about putting so each of these fireworks, right? If you imagine, these are full of different aspects of life, right? So each one is a different aspect of life. You get to light this touch wire and you get to blow up different aspects of your life, right? However, you can also rescue some and you can keep some. So this 8 of Wands, it's about this journey of discovery through wands, which is through this security, confidence type thing. You get to keep the bits that you don't want to explode off. So it could well be that Pete's gone, do you know what, actually I'm really good with this, or I'm really good with that, and taken 1 or 2 bits away, and then is lighting that wand card and exploding and then moving forward. There is something here about Pete's had to make some decisions about who and where and what he is, where he's headed. Holland, it was full on, so much fun. I think I should have asked a different question. No, if this is what you need to know, then this is what you need to know, my darling. If it was full on and full of fun, I think it's absolutely over. I think it was maybe a fling. Maybe Pete's married. Maybe Pete's got a family, because again, that's what that would maybe suggest. But right at the core of it, we've got the 6 of Wands, and the 6s are about community, family, things like that. So about a wider group of people. So again, if he has got another family, or if he has got some sort of, you know, community group that he is a major part of, then that may well be where his energy's gone. My guess here, it was full on, so much fun. So if you were in a relationship, honestly, I don't know what Pete promised, but I don't think from Pete's perspective that it was ever going to be a long-term relationship. I really don't. It doesn't feel that, my darling. There are no cup cards here. There is nothing here about any emotions. It could be that it was just a sexual thing, right? It really could be that. So to answer your question, I don't think Pete has any intentions on being with you in the future. Okay, from what Holland sent and from your question, I don't think, and certainly from this, it doesn't feel like the two of you are currently together. I think, my darling, listen, if I were you, I would take the fun experience, whether it was, you know, a couple of months or a couple of years, whatever it was, take that experience, chalk it up to experience, put it in the memory file, and just put it in the that was fun, right? And let it go, because it doesn't feel as if there is anything else there at all. Certainly with this ace followed by the sun card, it really just feels like there was a new beginning, and that new beginning has led to this growth. That's what that connection is. And even here, look, we've got this community or this family leading to the 8 of Wands, which is where you get to choose how you move forward, leading to growth. So yeah, I hope that helps, my darling. I really, really do. And yeah, I hope that helps. I'm sorry it's not the answer that you were it's not the answer you were probably looking for, my darling, but it is. That's what the cards are saying. But remember, you do make all your own decisions about your own life. Let me have a look here. Go into the comments section. Oh, thank you, my darling. It was 2 weeks. It's okay. What? It was 2 weeks ago that you split up. Lies. It was all lies. Possibly, my darling. Possibly. Some people just have their fun and move on. Absolutely. It's nothing you did. They're just arseholes. Absolutely. 100% agree, Holland. 100% agree. Could it be connected to a health scare? There's nothing here around that. I mean, it could be, but there's nothing here saying that, you know, there's just nothing in the cards to it could be, but there's nothing here to say that. it was full on, so much fun. I think I should have asked a different question. Again, if it was fun, just take that fun. It could make sense. Everything he said was a lie. No love there yet. It's very new. Only 2 weeks old, right? Yeah. Then how can you love someone in 2 weeks, right? You can lust someone in 2 weeks. You can certainly feel something for someone in 2 weeks, but full on love is a bit different, isn't it? And it may well just be that it wasn't meant to be, my darling. A 2 week relationship. Yeah, it probably wasn't meant to be. Listen, put it in the memory file, put it in that memory box, chalk it up to experience. And as Holland said, he's the asshole, not you. And yeah, you can heal him, you can find your right person. It just happens that this time it wasn't that person. No worries, my darling. Listen, my advice as an old bitch, right? As an old sorry, I meant to say witch, obviously. My advice as an old cow bag, right, is block him. Block him on social media. He's not worth your energy. He's not worth the steam off your piss, my darling. So don't give him any energy. Don't give him anything. Don't give him space. Don't let him rent space in your head. Don't give him headspace rent free. Just let him go. Let him go. Let him go. All of the above. So yeah, I hope it helps, NY. But thank you very much for your question. Are you all right, love? Okay, I was just checking that with you, not one of the doggos. So yes, thank you for that. Dormouse, hi Lisa, hope your weekend is going well. It is a weekend, isn't it? I always forget, because Sundays for me, because I do a 3-hour stream, an hour with the members, then 2 hours on here. Sundays are very much like part of my working life, so it doesn't really feel like a weekend. Plus, we did a hell of a lot of, well, I say a hell of a lot. It's not a hell of a lot of walking. A lot of walking for us yesterday, and it meant that we're both very wibbly wobbly and a bit poorly today. And it wasn't even that much walking, but for us it was, especially with me poorly leg and me poorly stick and wibbling along like a weeble, because weebles wobble but we don't fall down. Anyway, my darling, I can't answer that. I can't answer that, my darling. I don't know what to do now, because I can't really. Who's coming towards you in love? I can. What's next in love? Right. Okay. I'll do a what's next in love. Okay. And then I'm going to do a free round, everybody. Okay. So thank you to NY for another donation, but I will do your reading, NY, and then I will do a new round. Okay. So give me a second. Your reading will be coming up straight after this. Yes, indeed. Right then. Jay, I don't know whether you can hear me. I've got no idea why you can't put messages on the doodah. I've got no idea. Yeah, no idea why you can't put messages on the doodah. And I hope you're okay after that fire. You're having a bit of a run of it, aren't you, at the moment, Jay? Anyway, let me have a look. Right then. So we're going to cleanse again and whisper. We've got NY again, and we want to know, we basically want to know what is coming towards NY? Is there a love opportunity coming? That's what we want to know. We want to get see if there's any positive love energy coming for NY. Right, so we've had a cut now. There's 2 cards. 2 cards don't count. 1 card would have been a clarifying card, but 2 cards is a mistake from the shuffling. Everybody shuffling. Oh, is that 1 card? 1 card, 5 of Swords. Right. Okay. So 5 of Swords is your clarifying card. The 5 of Swords is a mixed bag card. Swords is issues, troubles, hurdles, challenges, things like that, NY. And the 5 represents a time of turmoil, a time of things not being... Sorry, I just realized you didn't see the drop there. But a time of turmoil, a time of things being a bit up in the air. So when we're talking about a love reading, especially when you've just coming out of a 2-week relationship that you thought was deeper than it is, that makes perfect sense, because the issues there will be other issues of trust, other issues of, you know, putting your faith in people that don't deserve it, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, something just fell down. But also with the 5, that's all those issues that, you know, and those turmoils, troubles, hurdles that you need to overcome. So in other words, this is really talking about a lot without saying too much, if that makes sense. So it's all of the topsy-turviness going on in your love life, not just with oh god, because I've gone on to the next reading, I've completely forgotten what the guy's name was. But in oh, hang on, I've got it, because I can click on that one. Pete, there you go. So not just in relation to Pete, but also in relation to, you know, love life in general. I think it's going to be a time of turmoil for you. So where you are right now, that was upright last time. Okay, 8 of Wands, where you are right now. Okay, we'll take it. What you need to know: 4 of Cups reversed. Okay, and the King of Wands, red flag card. Oh god. Right, okay, let's do the linking cards. Yeah, that makes sense with the Hangman and the Root being the 2 of Swords. Absolute right. Okay, so my darling, this is going to be like a punch in the gut. Okay, listen, I don't mean anything by this. It's the cards that are coming up, and it might not be at all what you want to know, but this is what the cards have in store. Right, the way I read, it's very much, this is not your grandmother's tarot. This is not, you're going to meet a tall dark stranger. This is what you actually need to know, even if it's not what you want to hear. So 8 of Wands. Wands, as I said before, is your sense of security, sense of self, your sense of who you are, confidence, things like that. And the 8 is that moment where you get to throw everything out of the window, pick up the things that you want to move forward with and leave other things behind. But it's about moving forward. In this deck, each of those things are put into a firework. So you can imagine in this one is your, you know, let's just say, for example, your trust at what men say. This one is your believing when they tell you they love you, right? This one could be whatever. So this is what you put in. And then you light this touch paper, you stand well back, and some of the things that you put in here will go bang, off they go, right? Exploding, disappearing, never to affect you again. Other things you get to disconnect the cord from and take with you, right? That's the analogy for this particular deck. So you've got the ability here, you've got the right to basically say, I want to not take this forward with me into relationships. However, because it's reversed, I think you find that really difficult. And I think you repeat patterns in relationships. And I think you've got this, probably, if you look back at your dating history, you're dating the same people. right? Won't necessarily be the same people, but it'll be the same types of people over and over and over again. So, you know, is it that you're dating narcissists? Is it that you're dating people that are, you know, obvious liars, or people that are, you know, controlling, or people that are gaslighting? What is it about the people you're dating that is repeating that cycle over and over and over again? Four of Cups, and what you need to know is you're looking for stability in your love life, whilst everything at the moment is just stagnant. Your love life energy, I think this is okay, Wispy, thank you. This is ickiness that is stuck to you, right? Does that make sense? I don't know why that makes sense, but this is like, if this was a pool of water, which it represents, see how dark this is, right? It would be like jumping into a swimming pool full of algae, or getting out of that swimming pool where the algae sticks to you. It's like all of the negative things in past relationships is all sticking to you, right? You're taking it with you. You're literally wearing it on your aura, or on you're taking that, all of those bad relationships, all of those bad experiences, anything that's been negative, instead of finding that actually that is a negative in that person, you've accepted that and moved forward with it as part of your luggage, part of your baggage. And it's something that you don't need to carry that forward, right? We were just talking about Pete. You don't need to take Pete's image of you forward. You don't need to take Pete's disrespecting you forward. You can just leave that with Pete. It's nothing to do with you. In the future outcome, hopefully this is reversed. Now listen. Let me do this again. So hopefully, right, this is your red flag warning. Look at this. Look at the red flag, right? Look at the king with the red flag. This normally would be coming your way, right? But it's reversed. It's your toxic red flag, red alert warning. Right? Do not do this. Do not move this into an upright position. Because if it's an upright position, it means you're going to repeat this cycle. There are going to be more guys who are red flags that you ignore. This is how you need to do it. Keep it reversed, right? Keep it reversed, but also get ready to completely and utterly, as soon as you see the red flag, you move on, right? Because the fact that this is here, hopefully it's meaning that you'll recognize the red flag and you won't go down that path. My concern is this is in the future opportunity. So this is saying that, you know, if a red flag comes in again, you are not going to spot it. You are not going to have that alarm in the back of your head telling you that this guy's a red flag. You need to watch out for these red flags. You need to be more aware of the fact that perhaps your lack of love, your lack of confidence in yourself is leading you to accept bad people. The Hanged One. We've got the card that represents sacrifice, right? Normally, it's positive sacrifice. You're sacrificing your time and energy now to gain something of worth and of value. The card represents Odin hanging on the tree of life of the Yggdrasil to gain the knowledge of the runes. It's a worthwhile sacrifice. In this instance, it's sacrificing. I think this is really sacrificing your own self-love, your own depth of being able to love who you are, accept who you are, and be really content with who you are without having to have somebody else verifying and validating you, right? I don't think it's not a healthy place to have outside validation. But this card is literally saying, look, this is you being able to move forward, but because it's reversed, there's a blockage here. This is you feeling confident and stable in your sense of love and who you are, but again, is a blockage here because it's reversed. And this is you falling into the same old pattern of red flags and, man traps set by men, not for men. this sacrifice card is saying that you're sacrificing your own happiness to keep that pattern going. We've even got the 6 of Swords. Now, listen, this card, again, Swords is trouble and strife, hurdles, challenges. This is a community. We said this on the last card, on the last reading with the 6. 6s are about community, family, friends, groups. This is you moving forward in your boat. That's fantastic. But you're taking the hurdles with you. Look, they're there. In this case, they're giant nails and screws in the boat, but you're taking them with you. You're not moving on. You are taking those same issues from the past relationship into a current relationship, into a future relationship. Those issues are going with you. Again, this ickiness that Wispy gave me, this idea of being covered in bits of algae from a previous relationship, that you are moving forward. Think of it. Now, this is going to sound really, really, really awful, right? And I'm not at all suggesting it. I don't even know why I'm saying it, but I'm going to. It's a bit like in a past relationship, a partner gave you an STI, right? I'm not saying they did, but just imagine, just pretend, right? This is happening to a friend, right? So a partner gave them an STI. They know they have an STI, but they don't get it sorted. They don't go and take a course of tablets or whatever it is, which means the next relationship comes along. They're taking that STI with them. And then the next person also has an STI. So not only do they give them the first STI, but they then take a second STI from the second relationship, know that they've got an issue, don't get it dealt with, move on to their next relationship in a week or a month or a year, whatever it is, 10 years. And then that person also has an STI. So this person is now collected from each of the relationships, different STIs, but is sticking with them and moving forward. Eventually, it's going to cause some serious problems. And this is metaphorical STIs. This is psychological STIs that relationships can give us. And the fact is that you are picking up these psychological STIs and running with them moving forward. You're not clearing them out. You're not taking the psychological antibiotics to clear that through. You're allowing that first person who gave you that psychological STI, you're allowing that to move forward with you. That ickiness is moving with you. That's what you need to clear out, my darling, because at the root of all of this, at the base root of your love reading, this is your love cycle, this is your romance, this is everything. We've got the 2 of Swords reversed. Do you know what this card is? This card is representing not just the Pete from the previous reading. It's not just representing Pete, it's representing every negative relationship that you've had, because this is saying at your root, at your core, your very root of this issue is this idea that you are not going to be in a happy relationship, because the 2 of Swords represents turmoil and hurdle with somebody else. It is crossed swords, crossed words, right? That's literally what it represents. A disagreement, a disharmony, a trouble and strife and issues with another person in a relationship in this particular reading, because that's what we're talking about. It isn't even upright. So this is saying that you are given, you accept this from the person you're with, from partners. You allow them to gaslight you. You allow them to lie to you. You allow them to pull the wool over your eyes, because it is, for whatever reason, it's what you expect. It's what you expect, and it's what you accept. And you don't have to do that anymore, right? If it was this way round, it's more hopeful. But this way round, it would be issues that you cause, that you create, because you want, you know, whatever you want to know that your partner's going to be there and stick through the tough times. This way round, it is literally you accepting the bullshit from men. And this is your red wag, this is your bell ringing, your alarm setting. This is everything that is telling you you do not have to accept any of this, right? You really, really don't. Because if you keep accepting it, it's going to keep happening. This King of Wands, this red flag is going to keep happening if you keep accepting that that's all you deserve. That is your reading, my darling. You honestly, counseling support, any kind of any kind of relationship support counseling, any kind of talking therapy, through a charity, through paying for it, through even that internet thing, which I'm not entirely certain that I agree with. What's it called? BetterHelp, whatever it is. Not sponsored, never will be by them. But whatever it is, get some support, get some help, because this is really, really telling, my darling. You don't have to accept this. You do not have to accept this, because this is what it leads to. I hope that helps, my darling. I really do. But thank you very much for your question. And that is going to be your reading for today. I'm sorry once again that it's not saying there's going to be this wonderful, loving energy coming your way. And, you know, you're going to have tall, dark, handsome sort of strangers dropping out of the sky to come and date you. It really is suggesting that there is a lot that you need to clear out. Which again is something we see a lot on the channel. You're not alone in this, my darling. You're really super not alone in this. It's something that we see a lot. A lot of people have baggage, and those psychological STIs, which now have invented that in as a thing, is 100% what I'm going to call them moving forward. That ickiness, that relationship algae, that's what you need to clear. Right. Wow, that was intense for me. I don't know about anybody else. Let me have a look, my darling. Let me have a look. You're done with dating? No, you don't have to be done with dating. Don't be done with dating. But as there you go. Look, as Holland says there, have a break. Work on your confidence and self-esteem. You do not have to accept. You do not have to accept that relationships are going to be difficult, right? Relationships can have difficulties, but they don't have to be difficult. I am in a relationship now. I've been in this relationship for 9 years. I do not intend being in another relationship if I live till I'm 90. This is my relationship for life. Are there difficulties? Yes. There are times where we don't agree. There are times where I wind him up something chronic. There are times where he winds me up something chronic, and I just think to myself, oh, will you just shut up? There are times where he gets really, really frustrated, and there are times where I do as well. But because we love each other so much, there is that base understanding that actually I will do everything I can when I remember, which again is an ADHD thing, but I will try and do everything I can to minimize my negative impact on my partner, and he does the same. And it has changed fundamental things. A little tiny example. I used to like leave washing up overnight. I'd be like, oh, I've had my pudding, my bowl of fruit and a yogurt, and I'll just leave the bowl. I'll wash it up in the morning, but I'll put it into soak. That is something my partner hates, right? Dirty dishwater, cold dishwater in the morning. He hates it. So I now will either, 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, I will now not leave anything in the washing up bowl. I will wash it up before I go to bed. If he's left, if he's had a bowl of fruit and put it in the sink, I will wash that up. Silly little things like that, because I know it's a bugbear of his, and it's something that I can do very, very easily, and it just resolves that little issue. It's gone, right? And he's made huge changes to accommodate me. And yes, we have difficulties, and we have bigger difficulties and smaller difficulties and little niggles. But that is what being a relationship is. It isn't that you just have somebody else dictating the whole time, right? That is what you need to remove. You don't have to accept that, right? I've been in relationships which have been one-sided. They are tough. They suck. They are shit. You don't have to be in that, is what I'm saying. You can't do this anymore. The last 3 were complete shit. I think it's because you moved to another country. I don't think it is. I don't think it is, my darling. I don't. I think you need to. This isn't about moving to another country or moving beyond or doing this, that, and the other. It's about working on you. Just accept that you love who you need to love who you are, if that makes sense. You have to say he was a dream. He spent £1,000 on our first date, attentive and everything, and then bang, just disappeared. Well, there you go. Love bombing. I didn't know it was called that. But yeah, it is absolutely, it sounds like absolute narcissism. Look what I've got. Look what I can do. I can spend all this money. Look how perfect I am. I bet in his head, he's thinking, look, all these women want me. No. It's literally about finding your sense of self, your self-worth, and moving forward, my darling. That is what it's about. Okay. Yes, move slower, move very, very slow. Don't open up. Don't start declaring love and you are the one I'm going to be with forever after a week. It's literally about moving forward. Thank you, my darling. Have we all hit the thumbs up? Yeah, could we have a thumbs up? Could we have a spike like? That would be amazing if we could do that. Oh, sorry. I just pressed something that was completely wrong. Oh, no. Now I've turned the sound down. Or have I turned it off?
Bluetooth mode.
Hang on, what have I done now? I don't know why that's playing so quietly, but anyway. Yep. Listen, the narcissists are great at copying someone else's hurt and making it sound like it's them. Absolutely great. And the thing is, they don't even know they're doing it a lot of time. They don't know they're doing it. Angela Jones film stuff. Good evening to you, my darling. I hope you are okay. Relationships are about give and takes and understandings. We do not always agree. Yeah, you don't have to agree. You don't have to agree, my darling. You really don't have to agree. But it's all about, even you can have, listen, I know people, right? I don't know how they do it. I do not know how this couple do it. There was a couple that I know of, I am acquaintances with, put it that way. They're not friends, but I would call them acquaintances, who are in America. One voted Trump, one voted Harris, and they're in a relationship together. I couldn't be in that relationship knowing that my other half is diametrically, you know what I mean, opposed, voted the exact opposite. But other people, you know, it's for them. Yes, he was just a lesson. Exactly. Think of him as a lesson. He was a lesson learned. Angela, my darling, finding self-worth after being in an abusive relationship can be one of the most challenging tasks there is. Exactly. But definitely possible to regain a sense of self. Absolutely 179%. I know, right? It only goes up to 100, but 100%, 100% of 100. Absolutely agree, my darling. Absolutely agree. Oh, you didn't have to send a super thanks, but thank you, my darling. You don't know how those politically opposed relationships even work. Neither do I. I also know someone who's a dyed-in-the-wool witch whose partner is a Christian. I mean, I think it's Christian with a small c, not a capital C, but you know, it's still a thing. It's a thing. It happens. People can be in I couldn't. Other people are obviously stronger at me keeping their mouth shut when it comes down to political issues. But anyway, right, shall we have a free round? I think we should. I'm not even sure that you're hearing any of the things that are happening in that there chat. Which way round? Sorry, everything's going a bit odd. Let me just turn that right up. Let's see. I know you're only getting that from, oh my God, from my microphone, but it is time for a live round, for a free live round. So I am popping this in. If you would like a question, please do pop your question into the live chat, starting with the word question. And one of those will get picked at random from the keeper of the questions. So that's all you need to do. The next round is open, as it says on the screen. I need to bend down and pick up the cards that I've just dropped on the floor, because, you know, that's really useful. So yes, go ahead and do the things. Absolutely 100% right. Picked up the cards. Oh gosh. Do you know what? Again, talking about this tarot deck, the Fifth Spirit Tarot deck. If you are new here, I've got lots of different decks. This one is a very, not abrupt, but a very blunt deck. A very blunt deck. Right then, let me have a look in that there chat. Let me have a look. We are going with, it looks like, who have I got in the chat? Who have I got? Hang on a second. I'm on the wrong doodah thing. Cindy. Hang on. Cindy. Have we got a Cindy on? We have got a Cindy on. Cindy, I've got your question. Right, my darling. I will. Let me take the banner off. Sorry, having to find the cards. I just had to move things that were not holding the desk up, but kind of almost. So if everything goes this way, you'll understand why. Right, Cindy, my darling, bear with. Your reading will start in approximately 17 seconds. We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God!
Before we go on, here's the housekeeping. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. If you're looking for support in these areas, please do seek out professionals in these areas. You do have to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. And remember, please don't share private information here or anywhere else on the internet that you wouldn't want anyone or everyone finding out about now or any time in the future.
Absolutely right then, Cindy. Let's have a look, my darling. So as always, hang on. You know, one day, this channel is going to make enough money that I can afford to upgrade StreamYard and have a permanent second camera. However, that takes it from being £35 a month, I think I pay now, to being like 50 or 60 or even £80 a month. It's a massive hike. And at the moment, the channel's just not at that point. But once it gets to the point where I can have a fixed camera, oh my God, that's going to make life so much easier. Just small things, just a camera that I don't have to move every 5 seconds. Anyway, right, Cindy, let's do your reading, my darling. We do the doodah, we ring the bell, and we bring in the ever lovely Wispy. So then, Wispy, Cindy *_* would like to know, will I travel next year out of the country? What have we got? We've got the 10 of Pentacles as your clarifying or modifying card. This is money. Money. Do I still have that? I used to have that on my little soundboard, but I don't have that now. But yes, so this is all about finances. 10 of Pentacles. When I often read the cards, I always say that the 9s are full, the 10s are overflowing. So this is talking about you're going to need a lot of money for that, right? If you're going to travel out of the country, your goal needs to be setting aside a lot of money, as much money as possible to put aside to pay for the trip, because this is telling me it's going to cost. It's going to cost you, right? But let's see. So just going on this card, I would say it's absolutely possible for travel, but you're going to need to put those savings into place. Let's have a look for you, my darling men. So where we are right now, oh, 3 of Wands, potential travel there, look, into what you need to know and what the future outcome is. Right. Okay. So no major cards, no court cards. So I think this is, how can I put it? I think this is something you would like to do rather than something you are absolutely determined to do next year, right? Does that make sense? It feels like this is, oh, I really want to go traveling next year, as opposed to, I really want to go. I'm going to go next year. I'm going to go to Spain. I'm going to stay in this particular hotel in Alicante. Is that a place? Alicante. No, Alicante. I'm going to stay in Alicante in the Sunrise Dock Hotel. It's not a place. But that's what I'm going to do. And I really want, they've got this really nice presidential suite. So I want to be in the presidential suite. That'll be really nice. It's going to cost me 5,000 euros per night, and I want to be there for 14 nights, so that's 70,000. Is that right? Yeah, 70,000 euros it's going to cost me, and I want to do this, that, and the other, and I'm going to take a coach trip to Marbella and a boat to Valencia. I hope those are all places in Spain. Right, so that type of honed down, really focused on what you want to happen. That's the sort of manifesting phase, right? That's where you create and things happen. This feels a bit more like, I kind of want to travel next year, maybe, or maybe the year after. It might be the year after that, but it should, but hopefully, but maybe if it's all right with work, and if, do you know what I mean? It doesn't feel like it's fully locked in place in your mind yet. But let's go through the cards. So where you are right now, we've got the 3 of Wands. Wands is, again, confidence, self-esteem, and how you see yourself. 3s for me are about stepping stones, moving forward. So if you are who hasn't traveled alone or hasn't traveled abroad, if this is that step forward for you, this is quite highly well suited, because it's saying that you are going to take these steps forward, these steps of growth. If it's something that you've been like, I've always been a nervous flyer, but actually I want to fly, you know, maybe I want to go to Australia or Australia. Good day, computer, say good morning. Good morning. Sorry, I've got her on Aussie mode. Am I going to become? Am I going to be able to get out of the accent? Yes, I can. Right. Okay. But it may well be that that's where you want to go, because it's further away. This is about you taking that step up and moving forward, moving things forward, moving things up, and taking those next steps. Hopefully that makes sense. I keep saying it, but it's kind of the way that Wispy. No, it's kind of the way that Wispy is giving it to me, in that this is a step forward, a step up. This is the next step for you in some sort of holiday or plans. It kind of almost feels like, you know, you've holidayed within, let's assume you're in America, you've holidayed within the state, then you've holidayed within the country, and now you want to holiday abroad, right? It's like this is you getting more confident. In terms of what you need to know, the Page of Swords, pages are childlike, youthful energy, right? So this could be a stubbornness that comes in, like a tantrum from a 3-year-old or 2-year-old, or it could be a childlike element of maybe that fear, maybe that element of maybe not realizing how expensive or how much it's going to take out of you and what you need to prepare, right? The only reason I'm saying that is because it's the Page of Swords. Swords are hurdles, challenges, or obstacles. So this is really saying that although, and again, swords are also, I don't talk about it very much because it kind of is a little bit different for the way that I read, but swords can also represent air, the element of air, which can represent ideas. So again, this is almost like do your research, right? What you need to know, do your research, right? Seriously, go into it, plan it. People in the UK over here will plan a trip to Disney World far more intensely than most people in the States, because if you live near Disneyland or Disney World and it's only like, you know, a relatively short few hour flight, say a 3-hour flight, and then it's all in the same currency and it's all the same, you know what I mean? It's a lot easier to plan that than it is going from the UK, where it's a mega long flight and the currency and the exchange rates and the inflation rates and the economy are vastly different. So what might be an affordable holiday for an American is something that UK Brits, you know, we've got to save up for years. Do you know what I mean? Do your research, because this is really going to define whether or not you get to go. At the moment, it looks like the money side is going to be the key teller, but do your research. Make sure you know a lot. Do you need a visa? Do you need a passport? Well, obviously you need a passport if you're going abroad, but do you need this, that, and the other? How do you get into those countries? What is it you're wanting to do? And then the future opportunity position, we've got the Seven of Swords. Again, more swords, more hurdles, more challenges. And the sevens are about things being difficult choices, right? Difficult decisions, difficult choices. So again, this is where it's all coming back to, is this something that is just I'd really like to do that, maybe next year? Or is this something where you're like, no, in 2025, in Valencia, again, I hope that's Spain. I think it's Spain. In Valencia, there is there's going to be an international Comic-Con where everybody from Marvel is going to be there, them all at the same time, and I want to go. So I am now booking my trip, right? Is it that? Or is it something else? Is it just a pipe dream? Because this is talking about some really, really, really tough decisions, difficult choices that you are going to have to make to get you there. And this is what's coming up. Okay. So my advice to you, my darling, do loads of research, save loads of money, and really, really intently think about it almost non-stop. Make it not just your goal, not just your New Year's resolution, but manifest it in a way that you have to concentrate. You get up in the morning and you're like, actually, I'm going to Valencia, Spain. So I'm going to get on my Duolingo, again, not sponsored, and I'm going to learn some Spanish. Por favor. Oh, that's really good. I'm going to start learning, right? Whatever it is. I think whether you go or not is all going to depend on whether you move it from being, I want to go, to I am going, this is what I'm going to do, this is how much it's going to cost, to this is the research I've done. That is what's going to make the difference. I hope that helps, my darling. There's nothing on the card saying yes or no. It's all about, is it a valid, is it a viable position for you financially and creatively and all of that? But I hope that helps, my darling. I really, really, really do. And if you do go abroad, depending on where you are in the world, like for you abroad, might be coming to the UK. I mean, London's good, but there's lots of other places in the UK. Or maybe you going to some of those Spanish sounding type places that I mentioned, if they actually exist, which I'm not entirely certain that all of them do. But yes, anyway, I hope that helps, my darling. And thank you very much for your question. Right, let's go back into the comments. So for those of you that are new here, I don't have the comments open whilst I'm doing readings because I have ADHD, and if I have them open, I will go down every which turn and twist possible as I go through the reading. So a question comes up on the chat, I'll go, oh, blah 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 blah. Something happens, somebody comments about did you watch Agatha last week? I'll go, oh yes I did, and then I go off on tangents. So to try and mitigate that, I don't do it. I don't read the thingy. But yes, let's have a look. Good evening, Neil. Hello, my friend. Neil is here. Cindy, you need to get your certification before looking for a job. You're thinking of doing it in New York. What certification? I don't know what that means, but good luck with your certification before going abroad. Holly, New York is very expensive. Yes, I know somebody who wanted to move to New York, right? A trans person. I mean, no trans people are moving to the States for the next 4 years anyway, but she wanted to move to New York to have her gender confirmation surgery there. And she was going to fund it and her style of living by being a dog walker. I don't think she'd done her research, put it that way. Good evening, Phantom Punk. Hello, Phantom Punk. We'll be opening up a round very, very shortly. Thank you for popping that in, Ed. Mariana Ivanisevic, good evening to you. We'll be opening up another round very, very shortly. No worries, Cindy. Listen, make it stop. Bring it from being a dream into something you can manifest. Do that research, do that study, know how much it's going to cost, where you're going to go, what the number bus is and what train you need to get after you get off the airport, right? After you get off the airport, you know what I mean, the airplane. Do all of that. Get it so you know exactly, so that then you are fully prepared and it will become a thing. It really will. Right then, by the way, can we all please hit that like button? That would be really useful. But while you're there, can you also hit your subscribe button and dong your bell? There we go. So that YouTube lets you know whenever I go live. Also, if you think you are subscribed, whether you're watching this live or watching it on a replay, please do double check, because YouTube is really, really good at unsubscribing people. They do it on the big channels. They also do it on our tiny little micro channels here. When we need every subscriber we can get. And YouTube, helpfully, really useful. It's so, from the bottom of their hearts, it's such a loving and kind thing that they do, is they remove people's subscriptions or change their settings. So if you've got the bell setting and it's clicked to all, they will just take that off, and just maybe you'll get one notification out of 12. So double check all of that if you can, if you want to be notified. I do have a series of videos I am working on behind the scenes, a bit more witchcrafty. So all of that is coming up on the channel over the next few months. And tying in with the Witch's Road, there's going to be a lot more videos linking in with tarot and teaching and things like that as well. So if you want to know about any of that, do make sure you stay in touch. And as I say, hit that bell button. Right, just before we open up a new round, talking about the Witch's Road, here's this. Right, the round is now officially open. Go ahead, pop your requests for a reading in their live chat. Start with the word question, and one of you will get picked at random by the keeper of the question. So all you need to do for a free reading, as I say, pop your question into the live chat, starting with the word question. If you want to guarantee your reading, you can do so by sending a super chat. Any super chat over $8 or £6 UK or the equivalent will get you a longer reading. That's how you get a reading on this channel. The round is open. Go ahead and do the things. Anyway, good. Sorry, yeah, it does. No, I think it's actually in. Right then, let's have a look. Who have we got in the keeper of the questions? It looks like we have Jessica. Jessica. Oh, good question. Right, let me have a look. Everybody that isn't Jessica, do me a favor, select and copy your questions and get ready to put them into the next round. What am I looking for? Oh, the banner. Every time. Do you know what? I've been doing this with this on StreamYard for a couple of years now. And every time I go to do something, I click on a screen, it changes what's to the right hand side of my screen, right? So I've got a screen up with me on, and I've got a separate section, and I can put the comments in there and the video links and all of that. Whenever I try and remove a banner, I click on it and then I sit here and it's just words on the screen. And because my brain's a little bit neurospicy, it's just words and it just becomes a blur. And I have to click on the specific one to get the banner off the screen. It's so annoying. Anyway, right then, my darling, let's have a wee look. Jessica, can you have a reading about your current job? Will you stay there when your contract ends? We'll have a look for you, my darling, in exactly 15 seconds while I change the camera. Right then, so as always, we cleanse the space and we bring in Wispy, our air elemental dragon. So then, Wispy, my darling, Jessica 90 would like to know, they want to ask questions about their new job, their current job. Will they stay there when the contract ends? So it sounds like Jessica is on a short-term contract. Is she going to keep the job once that contract ends? Is she going to stay in that current job? Let's have a look. Don't forget, tarot is technically for entertainment purposes only, and you do make all your own decisions about your own life. Oh gosh, see, I've done it again. I've clicked on the wrong blooming screen. So do just keep that in mind, that it is your decisions. But again, let's see what the cards might be suggesting from the Akashic Records. Right then, Wispy, let's go. We haven't had a card end up flipped. So whenever a card flips itself upside down, that's when we call it a clarifying or modifying card. Come on, are we going to drop at all? There we go. Did not want to drop. Did not want to drop. So then, Jessica, where you are right now, Knight of Cups, what you need to know, the Nine of Cups, and what is coming up, the Eight of Swords. 9 and 8 are reversed. So then, the Knight of Cups, Knights are youthful energy. Okay, so this is where you are right now. The Knights are youthful energy, teenage rebellious type energy. This is in your Cups position. So this is in your emotional side. So I think that this particular job, it sounds like, although your question is quite like, will I stay there? Will I think you really found something you enjoy doing. I think it's something that, because we've got the Cups element and because we've got that teenage sort of energy coming in, I think you've this is hang on, Wispy. Right. This is either going to go one of two ways. Right. This is either, right, as I pull out the little dragon, this is either you absolutely love this job and would kind of do it for free, if you had your bills paid, or this is the exact opposite. I think that this is a situation where you are, I think you would do this job for free if you had to, right? I think it's very fulfilling. I'm not saying that in terms of, I think if you got your, how can I put it? If you had your bed and board paid, right? So your rent was paid, your bills were paid, and there was always food in your cupboards, but you weren't technically paid for this job, I think you would still go to work every day. I think if you won the lottery, right, in the smaller amount, say you got the second prize, right? So it's like $50,000 or $80,000 or pounds, right? Say you got that. I think you'd still turn up to work on Monday morning, right? That's what this feels like. It feels like you've got that energy, that youthful. I don't know whether this is a first job. I don't know how old you are, but it feels very much like you are finding your place in the universe with this job, right? So I think you absolutely love it. In what you need to know, we've got the 9 of Cups reversed. Now, again, the reason I'm saying you love the job is because we've got the 9 of Cups. I always say that 9 is full, 10 is overflowing. So I think you are fully 100%. You really do enjoy what you do, right? But this is what you need to know. If you don't, if your job is just temporary, right, you're going to have to accept that, even though it feels like heartbreak, even though it feels like there is a lot of loss, a lot of you is tied up to the job, a lot of your identity is tied up to the job, right, to your current position. It doesn't mean you can't reapply. It doesn't mean you can't apply for a different job in the same sector or the same office, even the same whatever it is that you do, nursery. I think you're still completely able to carry on, but this is really giving the suggestion that maybe there is some sadness coming your way. So I don't know how long until your contract ends. I don't think it's going to be like years down the line or months down the line. It feels more like your contract's probably going to end either at the end of the year or even the end of this month. And it feels like there is some sadness there. So just be prepared, because we've also got the 8 of Swords reversed. Now, the 8 of Swords, this is a card of awakening's the wrong word, but kind of being shown the truth, right? And the truth being revealed, because this, you can see we've got all these scissors here for swords. Traditionally in this card, this is about having the blindfold lifted, having information, gaining knowledge that you weren't previously aware of, having that blindfold lifted off, right? Being unbound. This is what this is relating to. These scissors are bound together by this binding, right? This is literally talking about having that removed. This is reversed, which is saying that I think probably right now you are assuming, hoping, hedging on the fact that this contract's going to get either renewed, or that, you know, if you're covering for maternity, maybe the person you're covering for is going to have an extended maternity leave, or, you know, decide that they want to stay home with the kids permanently or come back to a different department, and you're kind of hoping that you'll be able to stay on. This feels very much, both of these cards feel like a revelation that actually your contracted time is over. That's it. Goodbye. Do you know what I mean? And there's nothing personal in that, my darling. Even though it feels sad, there's nothing personal in that. Because it is literally, the contract is ended. You were contracted for 3 months, 6 months, 9 years, whatever it is. That time is up, and it's now time to move forward and move on. And it honestly feels kind of as blunt as that, to be honest. I don't think that you will stay there when your contract ends. It may well be that you can apply to come back in, or you can apply for future leave or something like that. You know, if someone else is going away, it doesn't feel that this is going to go necessarily the way that you're hoping, that, you know, magically the contract will just get renewed. Let's have a look. Right, I'm going to pull. I haven't pulled any of these tonight. This is an Intuitive Insights Oracle deck. It's from the Witch Casket box. So I'm just going to grab one and see what the Oracle is suggesting. Deceit. Maybe you've been lied to, my darling. Maybe somebody has said that, oh, you know, in most cases, the contracts get renewed, you know, or they're made permanent, or, you know, you're covering for, I don't know, again, maybe you're covering for maternity, and most of the time the company likes to keep that person in. So don't worry about the contract. I'm sure it'll be fine. It will roll over. It feels like you've been told that. The cards don't echo that, my darling. I hope that helps. Listen, forewarned is forearmed, and you've always got a really like don't disvalue or devalue the fact that you found a job that you absolutely love, right? You can have a job that you absolutely adore, and it can move you on to doing something in the same field or with the same company further down the line. It doesn't mean that if just because as it looks with this contract, it looks like this is going to end and you are going to move on. Don't think that this is an ending forever. This is over forever, because it could well be that later on that you will be, you know, able to go back to the same company in a different role, or even to find a completely new role with another company you're going to love even more. That is always a possibility as well. But I hope that helps, my darling. But thank you ever so much for your question. And I'm sorry that it's probably not the news that you were hoping for. But that's all I can do is give you what the cards give me. But I do hope that helps. And thank you very much for your question. Right, let's have a look in the live chat. You do love your job. You'll do it for free. Yeah. Oh, no problem, my darling. Listen, be prepared for the worst, right? Be prepared for the worst case scenario. Hold your head up. Say thank you very much for the opportunity and all of that. But also make it clear to them that you have loved your time being there, and if there are any future positions that you would love to be considered, and make it really abundantly clear that you would absolutely, like, even say to them, say, I don't know, again, pretend you work in a nursery. You say to them, look, it may well be I need to go for an agency now, but I am pretty sure that if you contacted me in a couple of months' time, even if I wasn't, you know, even if I was working somewhere else, I would probably still consider coming back. So, you know, please do. I've enjoyed this environment so much. Please do keep me in mind. Make sure you leave them with that, right? You leave them with that impression, because then you never know what's going to happen. But yeah, and at that point, they may even say, oh, hang on, because, you know, Bob's about to go on a 2-month holiday, so maybe we could think about you know, coming in, and we could shift someone around, and you never know. It's always possible. But anyway, my darling, I hope that helps. Right then, I am going to need to take a massive swig of my coffee and refill it. So what have I got that I can play? Oh yes, so earlier on I talked about this, which is the My Parents Video Rental Logbook from Neil from Necronomicon. It's full of nostalgia hitting reviews. It's an amazing project that I absolutely love. So again, if we can pop that into the chat, Neil, that would be amazing. But Neil also makes the Necronomicon fanzine, which I've been a fan of for years, not just because I'm a friend of his, but because it is phenomenal, and I love this type of horror. So I was watching Toxic Avenger again recently. I love it. It's such a sleazy, schlocky, bad, really cheap film, but I love it. I just love it. If you like films like that, Basket Case, Reanimator, the Hellraiser series, you know, maybe not the last 6, but the good ones, then I recommend it.
Legend has it that it was written by the Dark Ones.
It is coming. Necronomicon. Strange tales of the supernatural and the unearthly, when the fabled Necronomicon unleashes his ancient secrets.
The secrets of the Necronomicon do not come cheap.
Necronomicon.
What's in the basket? Easter eggs?
What's in the basket? Easter eggs? Oh, no. Oh, but some of you will know exactly what was in the basket. Right then, it is now time for another free round. The information should be in the chat now. There you go. If you would like a free tarot reading, go ahead, pop your question into that there live chat, starting with the word question. That's really important. Stick it in the live chat now. One of them will get picked at random. And yeah, this is your chance to get a free reading on this here channel. Go ahead and do that. Stick your question in, starting with the word question. And we'll be back in exactly 32 seconds where we will pick someone at random and they will get a tarot reading. Right then. Oh, there we go. No, that one. There we go. So who have we got in? Elise, by process of elimination, my darling, you are the one who has a question in. So good evening, my darling. Let me take the ticker tape banner thing off the bottom of the screen. And Elise, your question is up in however long it takes me to change the camera. So should we see if I can do it in 7 seconds? I probably won't be able to, but let's go. 7 seconds. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Look at that. I was so determined to get it into position quick. I didn't even press the blooming button for the video to play, but never mind. Never mind. Good evening, Elise. So let's do the usual. We are cleansing the space for you, my darling. And bringing in Wispy as always. So then, Wispy, Elise would like to know, question, a reading for the near future. Any changes in love or job department? Elise is single and looking for a job. So that's what we want to know, Wispy. Is there anything coming in the love department or in the work department? Don't get the two mixed up because that's a whole different line of work. We're not going down that road. Right then. Although, you know, no judgment from me. Ooh, we've had a card jump. 10 of Cups reversed. Is this a single card? Yes, it is. 10 of Cups reversed. Right. So clarifying, modifying card. So this basically is going to work as the lens that we are looking at through. We are looking at the lens, if you like, for the future cards. So let's do your drop. What is the 10 of Cups? Cups is your emotional suit. Okay, come on, drop now. There we go. Cups is your emotional suit. Tens, you've heard me say it a couple of times tonight already. 9 is full. 10 is overflowing. So literally in this card, you can see the water. The emotional suit is always represented by the element of water, but the water is overflowing. These poor koi carp at the top, look, are jumping out. But we've got... There's still one in that jar. Look at that there. But these koi carp are jumping out of their vessels, their cups, because there's so much water and splashing and everything going on. The water is overflowing. It is reversed, my darling. So it's saying that perhaps there is some sadness coming your way. So we'll see what that represents. Right then. So where you are right now, the energy that has brought you to this moment, we've got the heartbreak card. Of course we have. Of course we have. In the what you need to know, the Page of Cups. So this is all going to be a love reading. And okay, maybe not. 2 of Pentacles coming in the future possibilities. So the 3 of Swords. Why is this the heartbreak card? Because in the majority of decks, this is depicted as a red cartoon heart with 3 swords going through it. This deck is interesting because I don't know if you can see. I'm going to use this feather, lovely feather, to point out. Look, this is a needle. This is stitches where you can see the wound has been stitched. Yes, there's a little bit of blood and oozing stuff there, but it's been stitched. And even on this wound, can you see it looks like this is still an open one, but it looks like it's going to be stitched because we've got the repair here. Now, what this represents is that the heartache from the past is actually beginning to heal. It's not healed yet, but it is beginning to heal. It's beginning to become less weighing on you, right? So I think the fact that you're single and looking for love, I think this is something that you are getting into the right place for. I don't think it's going to come now because I think you're still carrying around this sadness, but it kind of feels like you're moving on. You're starting to, if I say you're at the end of the grieving process, right? Does that make sense? Because it kind of feels like the heart was broken. It's being mended. It's in the process of healing, being stitched up and being made stronger, but you're not yet there, right? You've still got some healing and you've still got some work to do, but you are in the process of moving that forward. In terms of what you need to know, we've got the Page of Cups again reversed. Pages are youthful energy, very naive, very childlike energy. Sometimes when they're reversed, it could be childish energy. And Cups again is your romantic suit. This is the suit of your emotional self. Now again, we've got, I mean, these are fish in balloons, so you know, a bit weird. But this is talking about, again, having that romantic, emotional side. I think, again, it's still in that healing process. I think you're still learning, because the fact that it's come up reversed, it almost feels like, how can I put it? It almost feels like you, for some reason, right, Wispy, give me a way of saying what is in my head, because it's going to offend. Right, I'm just going to say it. Right. I'm getting with this card a sense of entitlement, right? And it's almost saying to me that you are entitled to love because of whatever's happened in the past. You're entitled to a new romance. You deserve a new romance. You deserve someone that loves you. That isn't true, right? And I'm not saying in any way that you don't, but what I'm saying is not everybody in life is entitled or deserving a new relationship just because one ended, or because one ended badly. It's like we have to go through that healing process. And again, this isn't about, you know, as I say, entitlement. This is really about this idea of expectations in life, right? It could well be that because you've had heartbreak here, that you're thinking, well, the next one's got to be better, right? But there might not be a next one until you clear this out. There might not be a next one ever if you don't put yourself back out there, if you don't get back out, you know, get back on the bike, get back in the game, whatever it is the saying, you know, get back in the pool, whatever it is the saying that makes sense to you. You've got to find that way of opening up to new dates and new adventures, right? Because it absolutely feels here that there is this sort of this expectation that romance is coming, that a new lover, a new romance is on its way. And unfortunately, that doesn't necessarily happen. Or it doesn't happen easily. For a lot of people, you've got to put yourself out there. You've got to go where people are. You've got to find a way of meeting people, get to know people, and take those risks. Put your heart on your sleeve and take those risks. And it doesn't feel yet that you're willing to do that. Future position. Now, I don't know whether this is This could go either way, right? Because you've asked for job or work. Now, the way that I read, when I do a live reading for someone, right, and they say, oh, I haven't really got anything in mind, I always say the same thing. Look, I'll lay the cards out. Normally, by the 10 cards, we will see which of those cards are coming up, which of those cards are the suits are repeated. We'll get an idea. If out of 10 cards, 4 of them are cups, and we've got a couple of majors and a couple of others, then you can pretty much say that this is a cups reading, right? With this, we've got lots of cups. We've also got this Pentacles card. And Pentacles is work, career, finances. But where it comes in and where the twist is it's 2. 2s for me are always about couples. So it could be a business partner, it could be a romantic partner. But this is suggesting there is a romantic connection or some sort of coupledom, some sort of partnership coming your way. I do not see years and years into the future. So this is really suggesting that there is some sort of partnership coming soonish, right? Probably by the end of the year. This, being in the Pentacles suit, could also be related to work. So it could be that, yes, there is a job coming and you will connect with somebody within that new workplace, right? Or it could be, because again, Pentacles is work, career, finances, and also growth. It could be that there is somebody who is going to help you grow and recover from whatever this previous relationship and this feeling that there must be somebody, because you're generally a good person, which I think you are. It could be that there's somebody who's going to show you and somebody who's going to help guide you forward with growth, and that will become a relationship. I don't know. It could go either way here. So again, I'm going to pull you an oracle card. Wispy, I need is this last card, this 2 of Pentacles, is this about the 2, or is this about the Pentacles? Is this about the connection, this partnership, or is this about work? Which one have we got with this final card, this future card? Let's have a look. We have, it's growth. Wow. Okay. Just thank you, Wispy. That is amazing. What did I say about Pentacles being the suit of growth? Because it's about earth energy. It connects with the earth element. So when we're talking about growth, that's literally what I said. I think that I think this is more about love than it is about work. And I think there is somebody coming your way by the end of the year who is going to help you grow, who is going to help you recover, and is then potentially, because of the 2, is then going to be, I think they're coming in as a friend and they're going to develop into something else, right? That is the connection that I've got here. Absolutely. I said growth. I talked about growth. We've got the word growth here, but look what we've also got. Does that not look like an anatomical heart to you? It's an anatomical heart with flowers. So we've got love and earth energy. Again, I think I could not have asked for a clearer card, right? I think absolutely 100% you've got love coming before the end of the year. And I think it's going to come out of somebody who may well be around you already, who is there to help you heal, and who is, in terms of currently, maybe a friend who you're going to see under in a different way. But there is absolutely growth coming your way, and that too is 100% partnership. So look out for that before the end of the year. And again, when I say before the end of the year, it may well be that this is that the connection is made by the end of the year. It doesn't mean that you'll be totally in love and, you know, having Christmas like a Hallmark movie. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Right, I've got 7 minutes, so I'm going to stick on this camera, and I'm going to do a fast round. Okay, a quick round. So a 3-card reading. We're going to go fairly quick, and let's go ahead and stick your questions in that there live chat right now. It's gone into the no worries, Elise, I hope it helps. And listen, when that person comes your way, and once you're into that, the relationship is full on and your hearts and flowers and everything is going grand, let us know, because if you get a wedding, we want to come, even if it's only by Zoom, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Some of us have got hats and suits that we want to wear and posh dresses. Anyway, go ahead, pop your question into the live chat, starting with the word question. It'll be a super quick one, but go ahead and do that, and I will stick this. But what's the shortest one? I've got 24 seconds. Here we go. You got 24 seconds, and we'll do the next reading after this. Okay, we've got Celine. Celine, hang on. Celine, there we go. Questions, thoughts of why about me? Thoughts of why? Okay, what why is thinking about you? Okay, we'll do that. This is going to be the last reading, everybody. As I say, it's going to be a quick one. Let's have a look. If you have to go, everybody, I will be back on Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. UK time. Hopefully, coming up this week, I'll get time to record a couple of book reviews, because I've got some books that are new releases that'll be very good for Christmas presents for somebody witchy in your life. And don't forget, I have the Witch's Road, which is open, the website for if you want to learn more about witchcraft, or what type of witch you are, or you want to do some study, that is now officially open. And also do check out the supplies element. We were talking in the members only. I've made this bracelet with lots and lots of healing crystals: moonstone, bloodstone, green aventurine, unakite, black golden obsidian, and fluorite, and it's aimed at healing. So I've been asked if I'll put these on the website, and I think I'm going to, with some earrings, the same as well. So that will all be up on witchesroad.co.uk. Anyway, Celine, let's have a look. So Wispy, Celine wants to know, what does Y think about them? What does Y think about Celine? Let's have a look. It doesn't count, it didn't flip over. Let's have a look. Wispy, what does Y think about Celine? Don't forget, our memberships are also open. You can always join our memberships by hitting the join button. That is something that is also available should you wish to do so. I've got a lovely little crow just there. Should we call our members, by the way, should we call them the Coven of Kind, or the Kindness Coven, or should we call it the Coven of Crows? I quite like the idea, the Coven of Crows. Anyway, Celine, where you are with Y, what is Y thinking about you at the moment? 9 of Wands reversed. Oh, 2 of Pentacles. We've just had the 2 of Pentacles. That's interesting. And the 9 of Cups. Right. Okay. You literally just heard me saying 9s are full, 10s are overflowing. Okay, so 9 of Wands. What is the Wands all about? If this was upright, I would say that Y is quite arrogant. But the 9 of Wands, 9 is full. Wands is self-esteem, confidence, all of those lovely things, right? It feels very much here that we've got a oh, sorry, my chat has just completely jumped. Everything has completely jumped. The Coven of Crows. Okay. We can do that. We can certainly do that. So this is in the where you are now, right? I think that Ty is possibly Y, right? I think that Y is possibly, oh, how can I put it? Right. I don't know whether you two are together or whether you were together, but it kind of feels like Ty is insecure. Not, I keep saying Ty, Y, right? Y is insecure. Because the 9 of Cups, 9 of Wands is all about confidence, right? all about confidence and being really super strong, really super with it, all of that, really sure of themselves, you know, somebody who you just look at and think, you've got your shit together. But this is reversed. I think they're actually really insecure. And I think you're asking about what Y thinks of you. I don't know whether you are together as friends or together as a couple, or what your connection is. But I think that Y is perhaps either a little bit afraid or a little bit intimidated by your confidence at times, because this is very much an intimidation card, if that makes sense. And it does feel as if there is this, how can I put it? He's your ex. I do have the chat open, by the way, because this is the last one. He's your ex. I do think that this is, in that instance, my guess would be that you left him, you dumped him, you got rid of the relationship, you left the relationship, because it feels like he is very insecure about that. However things went, it feels like he is regretting and probably has sat there for a while and looked at past behaviors and things and thought, shit, maybe I shouldn't have done that. In what you need to know, the Two of Pentacles, again, we've got that growth card, we've got that couple. I don't know whether he regrets what he's done and what his actions were, and is secretly hoping that you'll be back. It feels he broke up with you and he hurt you. It feels like, I don't know whether he's got a new relationship that is growing, or whether he's like almost in love with his job, right? Again, this could be work, this could be career and finances, because it's Pentacles. It could also be the fact that there is a new relationship that's linked in with growth somehow. I think in this instance, it could well be more career, because we've got the Nine of Cups is sadness. So we've got sadness here. We've got this, like, this almost emptiness. So I don't know whether he's regretful for how things went, or he's regretful for hurting you. But it very much feels like it's all about him and how he's feeling and what he's missing, right? It doesn't feel like there's anything about you. It doesn't feel, there's nothing here about reconnecting with you. This could be a new relationship or growth of an existing relationship, or again, this could be really down to work. It doesn't feel, my darling, with two nines, with these nines echoing each other, right? It's really talking about insecurities that he's got, and a lack of, if I was to say, a lack of emotional experience and a lack of emotional maturity. Does that make sense? Because it really does feel as if he's like almost a bloody child, almost, again, throwing toys out of his pram. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting from this. The Two of Pentacles, again, I'm going to pull an oracle for the two. Wispy, give me an oracle for the two. I don't think this is somebody who is, I don't think he's crying over the relationship, right? I think he's crying for what he can't get. Does that make sense? It's almost like, and I don't think he's crying over it at all, but I think he's missing, like, if you two were physically intimate, then he's missing that. If you two were, you know, if he lived with you and you did the cooking and the washing, he's missing that. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't feel as if there is this strong connection. Did I cut the card? I don't think I did. Let's do the cut. There we go. Right then, we've got patience. In what context, Wispy? In what context do we have patience? Is he? Oh, is he? Oh, right. He could be regretting. He could be regretting letting you go. That would make sense for the 9. Could make sense for both 9s. The thing is, right? Be bloody careful, Celine. Right? Again, you make all your own decisions about your own life. All of that is a given. But be bloody careful, because as soon as you said he hurt you, my red alert bell went off in my head, right? Absolutely. It's like, this is toxic. But what the cards are maybe suggesting is he may well be, and if he is, he's a bloody rarity. He could be that 1 in 1,000 who has realized that he let you go and that was a mistake, right? However, if he's hurt you, put your needs first, because it could well be that he's realized he's fucked up. In that case, let him wallow in it, right? If he's no good for you, if he doesn't fulfill you and he isn't right for you, let him wallow in the fact that he lost you and that you've moved on. He's never going to find someone as good as you. Let him wallow in that, because if he has hurt you, what always comes back to me is what my nan used to say, which is the most common thing: a leopard never changes his spots. Yes, I believe in second chances, but it's very, very rare for somebody to actually change, especially over a short period of time. Over a long period of time, over months and years, absolutely people can change, and people can do that work and the shadow work and the counseling work and all of that to realize what they did, what led them there, and to make changes and make their life different. But that takes time. It takes understanding. It takes compassion and empathy for them to dig deep and understand what they did to other people and to understand how that went wrong and how that happened. That isn't done in a matter of weeks or months. It's literally, it takes years for that to happen. So for somebody to make a change, it's not going to be done quickly, my darling. But it does feel from this that he regrets what he did, right? I will leave that with you. Just be very be warned. I hope that helps, my darling. Thank you. Never going back. Good. Let him wallow in it. Let him live that empathy then. Absolutely, my darling. Good. I'm so pleased you said that. So pleased. Absolutely. He does not deserve you. If he can't handle you at your best, then he certainly ain't going to deal with you at any other time. Absolutely not. He does not deserve you. So patience and empathy, tough shit, mate. Too little, too late is what I would say. He doesn't deserve you. Let him treat his next partner better, but he ain't going to have the chance to hurt you anymore. He's not going to have the chance to repeat a cycle with you. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Well done, Celine. This is the best, absolutely the best response ever. I am so pleased. Yes, absolutely. I am so pleased that you said that. This is, do you know what? Sometimes when I do readings, I'm so mindful of the fact that people might take a tarot reading where it comes up like that. Oh, empathy and patience. I might be like, oh, I'll go and take him back and he's really sorry for what he's done. And I'll jump back into that relationship. No, just because he's sorry for what he's done doesn't mean that you have to put yourself back into that fire. Absolutely, Celine. You live your life. If he's a very toxic person, let him be toxic. Let him learn how not to be over a period of time, and let him learn what it is to fuck up his life to the point where he watches you as you sail forward in your life with a very happy, content life. And your best way of showing him what he's missed is to live your life as happily and powerfully as you can. And he will then always, you will be the one that got away. He will always regret what he's done, and it may well be the lesson that he needs to learn. But for you, my darling, absolutely never go back. You just be the most intense you that you possibly can. I am very grateful for you saying that. Thank you so much, Celine, for ending on a really positive note that I wish more people would take from bad relationships, right? I honestly do. But thank you. Never going back. Toxic person. Hurt me once, shame on you. Hurt me twice, shame on me. Absolutely. And on that really positive, although slightly not sounding positive, but it is note, we're going to end tonight. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Thank you to the moderators. You are all bloody amazing. Happy birthday to Holland. Happy birthday. I am clapping for you. Happy birthday. I don't know what to do. Happy birthday. I do not know the words. Happy birthday to you and all your birds. Cat. But anyway, thank you very much. I don't know what the song is, but thank you very much for being here, mods. Thank you to Neil. Thank you to Ed. Thank you to Holland for joining on their birthday. Thank you very much. And I will be back on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. UK time. Thank you to the members. Don't forget, if you were one of the ones that got a gifted membership today, then we can see you on Sunday evening at 6 p.m. UK time. So if you are one of our brand new members that got a gifted one today in the giveaway, then please do come and see us on Sunday. And don't forget, you can always ask for a free reading on your Sunday evening. But that is going to be it for me today. And I will leave you with this lovely little thing. Do check it out. And I will see you very soon. And as we always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic. And I will definitely catch you on the next one, which will be Tuesday.